You don't have to live on Cape Cod to enjoy a delicious lobster roll. So today I'm going to show you how to make this East Coast favorite without going overboard on calories. So to start off, we're going to look at our lobster meat. Now, the lobster meat that I've chosen for the roll are the claws and the knuckle. The knuckle is actually the elbow, this part here. And the reason why I use this instead of the tail is because it's a lot less expensive. And since this is sort of a salad that you're whipping together, you don't need the full tail to put this together. And a little side note too is we're saving a lot of cash doing it this way. So I'll just cut up the claws. The knuckle meat is pretty much ready to go because it's already in small pieces. And usually you can find this lobster already pre-cooked when you go to visit your local fishmonger, or you can also find it frozen. Just make sure if it is frozen that you defrost it in the fridge the night before you're ready to do this recipe. So next I have some low-fat mayonnaise here, and I know sometimes mayonnaise gets a bad rep when it comes to health, but mayonnaise is actually pretty healthy for you because it's made with the good kinds of oil. Things like olive oil, canola oil, for example. They all have the good kind of fat, but it still has fat. So next we're going to cut a little bit of that fat content with fat-free plain Greek yogurt. Now this keeps the creaminess in and adds a little bit of protein to boot. So next I have some celery here. This is also a great way to really stretch that lobster meat. And I love the little bit of crunch that it gives to this salad. Celery is just one of those things that's very low in calories. In terms of vegetables, it doesn't have a lot of nutrition, but I like to add it because I like the flavor, I like the aroma, and again, it's a textural thing for me. So now I have some jalapeno, and this is where I really add even more flavor and a little bit of heat, because if you've been watching the Healthy Cheats series, you'll notice that I use a lot of chilies because I find not only do chilies give things a lot of interest, heat, spice, but also there's a lot of health benefits in chilies. Hot chilies are high in things like vitamin C, for example. And they also have an active ingredient called capsaicin, which will raise your temperature, your heart rate, which means that you burn a whole lot of calories while you eat them. And also it gives this dish a little bit of a twist. It's a little bit more pizzazz. You'll probably not find a lobster roll in Cape Cod made with jalapeno, but that's the way I like to do it. Usually when you order these out, they can be anywhere from $25 to $30 a pop. But the ones you're making at home are a fraction of that, and you get double size the portion, which means you can share. Next, I'll season this up with a little salt and pepper. So we'll mix this up. Now, if you're going to make this for a picnic or an outing, you can always do this part ahead of time and just keep it refrigerated. And make sure if you're traveling with this mixture that you keep it on ice. And these guys are ready to plate up. Now here I'm going to add a little baby spinach on the inside of our hot dog buns. Now this helps to insulate the hot dog buns from getting soggy, but it also adds a whole serving of vegetables. And I love baby spinach because this one happens to be already pre-washed and it's bursting with nutrition. I call spinach the superhero of the vegetable world because it's high in iron, calcium, vitamin C, you name it. Now I also have whole wheat hot dog buns here. It's just an extra way to get some nutrition in, some whole wheat. Just make sure that you look for hot dog buns that say 100% whole wheat on the ingredient list. And you notice that I'm really filling these up because we saved quite a few calories. And also keep in mind that lobster is pretty low in calories on its own. And I know some people get tripped up by the fact that lobster has dietary cholesterol. But the new studies out there show that foods that are high in dietary cholesterol, like lobster, shrimp, eggs, actually do not raise your blood cholesterol levels. Saturated fat is typically the culprit. And saturated fat you find in things like butter, bacon, fat that's solid at room temperature. So last I have some chives here. This is sort of the little chef's flair that I like to put on top of these rolls. Gives it a little bit of an onion flavor. And it looks just gorgeous. Now, if you don't have chives, don't sweat it. You can do a little bit of green onion. You can do some parsley. And if your neighbor has an herb garden, it's a great chance to go and knock on their door. And besides, you can share one of these with them. Garnish this on top. So there you have it, a perfect East Coast lobster roll. It's quick, it's easy, and it's a luxury lunch. I'm Jennifer Iserloh for Healthy Cheats. Thanks so much for joining me. I really like the comments, but I would love to get a video response. And if I use it, I'll send you a copy of my book.